What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new one in from Tuya to check out with you guys. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we have the Persia, and I really hope I'm saying that right. This is an integral offering from Tuya Knives. Really cool. They have like this frosted finish on the polish here. Looks like they have a mocha tie pocket clip on here, and my editor may have to correct that. I'm not 100% sure if that's right. Looking to see if it is riding on ceramic bearings. I can't tell if they're stamped or cage, but it does have an open shape here, so you can use the included tool to disassemble and get down into the bearings and swap them if you want to swap them. You have a steel lock bar insert on the outside of the lock bar cutout, and the relief cut is external on this one. It is a flipper only, but it is tuned extremely well. Has DLC coating on here. I do apologize. I thought I wiped the knife down before starting, but it does have a DLC coating on it, and it has good access to that lock bar. Very smooth on the close. Looks like the centering is a little off. Let me check yeah, there is a little bit of play. So let me show you the tool and how we're going to try to adjust this. Almost centered. So we're going to just try. Here. There we go. We'll just try lightly using the tips of the pry bar here. I mean the power pint here. All right, that felt like it moved a little. Yeah, now we're dead center. No play. Nice and smooth on the close. It looks like it could go just a tad further. I'm curious what type of driver this goes into. It does look like it goes into a driver of some sort, but I honestly don't know which tool you would put on this one. Let's see here. Now we're perfectly centered. And still really good action. So they do include the tool. I would say my one complaint about that is going to be, I like that they look like they tooled this for a driver, but it doesn't fit on your standard driver. So I'm not 100% sure which one that goes to. Good action on the open and very smooth on the close. I'm just looking to see if this is going to back out any. If it does, I'll throw a little Loctite on it or some thread locker on it before I ship it out to the next person in line to review this one. But man, Tuya doing a good job with the designs here. Nice jimping on the flipper, good jimping here on the blade itself. Blade steel is S90V, does feel thin behind the edge, and it cut like that. This is going to be a nice gent-esque EDC. It's going to be really nice looking. I'm not quite sure it came like that, a little scratched up. I'm wondering if maybe it got shipped with this unpacked and it kind of scratched here during shipping, traveling, like shaking around, which is weird because it's in a taco the way that it was shipped to me. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, or maybe that's just scuffing from where it's been carried. Not 100% sure, but it is a really nice integral design that cut very well. Felt sharp, even though it had been in the pass around. It moved through the cardboard very well. And honestly, pretty comfortable in the hand. The pocket clip lays nice and flat, goes in and out of the pocket very well, but it doesn't feel like it has excellent retention. I'm wondering if this needs to be just a touch thicker here, because it kind of just feels a little sloppy until you get to about here. That could just be because it's been in and out of a lot of pockets. I'm not going to hold that against it, but I think a little bit more thickness on this would actually make this a lot better in the pocket. I do feel a little bit of sharpness here on the edge when I'm holding it. For me, with the larger hands, that's something you could probably easily knock down, or that they could knock down on a version 2. But it's not a major deal, right? Like, I just feel it kind of feeling a little scratchy. And again, I think that's because of the larger hands. I just get 4 fingers on here. start to hang off the back a little bit. And the way that they kind of notch this so that you can see where the tip is, this is a little scratchy to me as well on the pinky. So I did feel that during the cutting. I did want to point that out. It's not major scratchy, but I definitely feel the pokiness on there. Let's go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons. All right, we have the Berg Blade Alpha on the table, more of a fuller sized EDC, and then we have the Golden Design Subcaliber on the table here, which I think is a slightly smaller, but you do have a little bit better footprint, and the chamfer and the design of this knife a little bit better ergonomically than it is here with these sharp edges. That I think, again, they're scratchy, not really sharp, but I think you could just knock them down a little bit without damaging the finish too much on this one. Let's do a couple more, and then I am curious about the weight on the integral. All right, we have the Artisan Revel button lock here that I really like. That's a real Conoco design. And then we have the Porcupine here from Vosteed. And as you can see, the Persia, or Persia, however you say this one, is right in between these two. Let me get them out of the way. We'll grab the scale and let's check the weight on this one. All right, we got the scale out, cutting her on. I'm thinking this is probably like around 3.6, 3.8, something like that. So 4 ounces. I was closer on the 3.8 guess. I figured it was going to be a little bit heavier, being that it's a fully integral knife, you know, as opposed to just 2 pieces of titanium bolted together with titanium in between. So this one is a little bit heavier, and the blade really isn't that big of a size. It's a good size thickness blade stock wise, that they got down to a good geometry and a nice edge. But the full integral I figured was going to weigh a little bit more. Let's get the scale out of the way and we'll go ahead and wrap it up with our final thoughts and impressions. All right, time for final thoughts and impressions on the Persia. I really like this one a lot. It is a very cool piece with just a few flaws on it. I will say the polished finish, I feel like this is from the sheath that it rides in. Rubbing against it. Could be this here too. It could be that the sheath and this were rubbing against each other. So I'm going to find a nice thick piece of plastic to stick that in to ship along to the next people so it doesn't do any additional rubbing or blemishes on here. Main complaints are going to be the scratchiness here and here on this one, and then I wish that the pocket clip was just a little bit thicker. I do grade on a scale of 1 to 10. I take into consideration the price point, the fit and finish, performance and ergos, along with the aesthetics, which can be subjective. On this one here, for me, I think I am probably at a 7.6. Wish it was a little bit bigger and or knocked down a little bit better here. If it just had maybe like a 1/4 of an inch more on the whole thing, it would really work for me. But as it is, it's a little bit smaller, which is a positive if you want to gent carry this one, office carry this one. I don't think it's too offensive. I think it's a really nice clean piece, a nice talking point about the machining and milling that goes into this knife here when you actually have someone that may take an interest in what it is that you are carrying. But all in all, the fit and finish, really good on this. I've very much enjoyed my time with this one and would be very curious to see what you think about this Tuya down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. Affiliate links are down in the description. When you guys use those links, it does help the channel tremendously. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that may change their life, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.